the future of Rhea Ripley's relationship with Dominik Mysterio, 6 WWE Superstars who are leaving the company, the Wyatt Sicks versus Chad Gable plans. The Undertaker is very different from Wyatt Sicks. Alexa Bliss's WWE return. Paul Heyman sends a message after Roman Reigns' confirmed WWE return. Cody Rhodes' injury had the wrong timing. Rhea Ripley teaming up with Damian Priest. Let's dive right into it. 6 WWE Superstars who are leaving the company. WWE, under Triple H, has one of the most stacked rosters in the company's history. The Stamford-based promotion has signed many promising talents this year, but it has also parted ways with several names. A lot of stars' contracts is set to expire this summer. While some have decided to stay with the company, some are reportedly on their way out. So, without further ado, let's take a look at 6 stars who are reportedly leaving the company soon. Number 1, Tamina. Real-life Bloodline member Tamina has been with WWE since 2010. She has managed to stay with the company for more than a decade, despite arguably having an inconsistent career. The former Women's Tag Team Champion was recently removed from the internal WWE roster. This could be a hint that she will finally leave the Stamford-based company. The 46-year-old veteran has not been to tapings in a while, and last wrestled Mishin in a losing effort on the February 27th, 2023 episode of Main Event. Number 2, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley made his return to WWE on the April 9th, 2018 episode of Raw after WrestleMania 34, after a 10-year absence. His booking was much better under Vince McMahon than Triple H, as he got to win the WWE Championship twice. Triple H did not utilize the Almighty in the best of ways, which is why he is reportedly on his way out of the company. His contract is set to expire soon, and he, along with Tamina, was removed from the internal roster of the company last week. There has been speculation online about Lashley joining AEW once his deal with the Stamford-based promotion is up. Only time will tell where the Almighty ends up. Number 3, MVP. MVP, a close ally of Bobby Lashley, is another name who was recently removed from the internal WWE roster. He will most likely part ways with the promotion once his contract expires in mid-August. The former United States champion returned at Royal Rumble 2020 and started managing the Hurt Business later that year. Triple H did not approve the reunion of the group, which led to MVP expressing his disappointment about the game's decision online earlier this year. It is possible that MVP and Bobby Lashley could end up together in another promotion to reform the Hurt Business. They could also be joined by Shelton Benjamin, who was released by the company last fall. Number 4, Meiko Satomura. Meiko Satomura is one of the most talented Japanese wrestlers of all time. She signed with WWE in 2020, and a year later, ended Alba Fire's, formerly Kaylee Ray, historic NXT UK Championship reign to become the final holder of the title. The 44-year-old veteran recently announced that she will retire in April 2025, the month in which she will celebrate 30 years of becoming a pro wrestler. Satomura recently returned to the ring during the company's tour to Japan, which could have been her final match in the promotion. Number 5. WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix worked with WWE for a long time. She started as a pro wrestler and later became a commentator for NXT. The Glamazon's contract reportedly expired, and she is officially a free agent. It is unknown what her next move will be, but she could head to AEW because her husband, Adam Copeland, is a part of Tony Khan's promotion. She is in great shape, so fans could even see her back in the ring again. Unless Triple H decides to offer her a new contract, the former women's champion will likely end up leaving the Stamford-based promotion. Number 6, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is an important part of the WWE commentary team, but he may have to leave temporarily once the college football season kicks off. The Raw announcer will return to ESPN's College Game Day during the season, which is why he may take time off from the Stamford-based promotion. It is likely to happen because he had to step away from his duties as a commentator for the same reason last year as well. The Wyatt Sicks versus Chad Gable plans. WWE storylines are seldom straightforward, and a veteran believes that the Wyatt Sicks rivalry with Chad Gable is no exception. According to him, there is a surprising twist in store that will change how the group is perceived by the fans. Over the last few weeks, the Wyatt Sicks has made it clear that it is targeting Chad Gable in WWE. Gable, on the other hand, has gradually turned into a proper heel to cope with the circumstances, even going as far as recruiting the Creed brothers and ambushing Bo Dallas. However, Bill Apter thinks that this is all a ploy to eventually recruit the Alpha Academy leader into their ranks. Speaking on Sports Key to Wrestling's The Wrestling Time Machine show, hosted by Mac Davis, The veteran journalist stated the current storyline would go on till possibly a little after SummerSlam, and then the faction would absorb Gable into the group. He also talked about angles that would appear more believable to the WWE Universe. This is the storyline that will take it into SummerSlam or after SummerSlam that I am looking forward to. I think they are going to recruit Chad Gable and make him part of the Wyatts. I think that's going to set them apart into angles that people will have more believability in. Just my feeling, said Apter. The Undertaker is very different from Wyatt Sicks. While many have compared WWE legend Undertaker to the Wyatt Sicks, there are quite a few differences between the two gimmicks. Hall of Famer Teddy Long recently talked about how the two were significantly dissimilar and how the time period has affected the way they are presented. Both The Undertaker and Wyatt Sicks have heavy supernatural elements in their segments. However, the Phenom generally also put equal importance on his raw strength, which allowed him to create one of the most iconic streaks in WWE history. On the other hand, Wyatt Sicks leans more into the creepy factor, utilizing their numbers to gain an advantage. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine, hosted by Mac Davis, Teddy Long was asked about whether he liked The Undertaker more than the Wyatt Sicks. He stated, "Back then, when Undertaker was presented, Undertaker was a whole different character. You didn't see them doing none of this wild, crazy stuff that the Wyatts do now. Times have changed, and I think that's what's really bringing out the Wyatts. You can do more now that you could do back then. But Undertaker and the Wyatts are two different deals right there. And I don't see Undertaker being associated with that period, with anything that they do, because he was a lot milder. He was low-key with the stuff that he done." Alexa Bliss's WWE return. A former WWE champion may be on the cusp of returning to action soon, according to a veteran, Bill Apter. The star may also join the Wyatt Sicks immediately upon their comeback. The champion in question, Alexa Bliss, recently teased her return to Raw after more than a year away from the ring. This has led to much speculation regarding her. Considering how involved she was with Bray Wyatt during his run as The Fiend, there is a significant probability of her joining hands with the Wyatt Sicks. Veteran journalist Bill Apter also believes the same, according to his comments. Speaking on Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis, Apter stated, "I predict Alexa Bliss is going to come back and join them, Wyatt Sicks, because she has had workout videos online recently of her training to come back into the ring. So I don't know if she is going to be part of the Wyatts, though it will be more that Sicks, of course. Or if she's just going to competition for one of the women's championships." Paul Heyman sends a message after Roman Reigns' confirmed WWE return. WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman recently took to social media to send a message ahead of Roman Reigns' appearance on the Stamford-based promotion's popular programming. The head of the table has not been seen on television since WrestleMania XL. Amid Reigns' absence, Solo Sikoa took over the bloodline and kicked Jimmy Uso and Paul Heyman out of the heel faction. The self-proclaimed tribal chief also added 3 new members to the faction, namely Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, who are wreaking havoc on Friday Night SmackDown. Sikoa is currently in a heated feud with Cody Rhodes and is set to face the American Nightmare for the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam 2024. Although Roman Reigns is confirmed to appear alongside Paul Heyman in the upcoming edition of A&E Biography, WWE Legends, his return to weekly television is not disclosed yet. The Wiseman recently took to his Instagram stories to send a message, hyping up the new episode of the documentary, which will showcase the special bond between him and the head of the table. Tomorrow, A&E Network, 9 p.m. Eastern, Paul Heyman shared. Fans would be patiently waiting for Roman to return to the Stamford-based promotion and confront Solo Sikoa and the rest of the bloodline. During an edition of the Wrestling Mat podcast, former WWE personality Matt Camp said that although Cody Rhodes will always be over with fans, he believed Roman Reigns could be a bigger babyface than the American Nightmare upon the head of the table's impending return to the Stamford-based company. Cody's gonna be over no matter what, but I'm so intrigued to see how things shake out when Roman is back because I think Roman can be a bigger babyface than Cody, which is, by the way, is an unbelievable thing for WWE to have. To have ready to go, now is the time Roman Reigns' massive babyface run, and to have Cody on the run that he's still on that is still very hot. To have both of those things at the same time, that has only happened a handful of times in history, Matt Camp said. Many fans believe that Reigns might return at SummerSlam 2024 to cost Solo Sikoa the undisputed WWE Championship match against Cody Rhodes. It will be interesting to see what the Stamford-based promotion has planned for Roman's comeback. Cody Rhodes' injury had the wrong timing. Cody Rhodes has established himself at the top of the mountain in WWE. He defeated Roman Reigns at WrestleMania XL to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The American Nightmare returned to the Stamford-based company at WrestleMania 38. He faced Seth Rollins in an epic trilogy before taking time off due to an injury. After his return, he won 2 successive Royal Rumbles and went on an amazing journey to win championship gold. While speaking on his Story Time with Dutch Mantel podcast this week, former WWE manager Dutch Mantel claimed that Cody's injury was a blessing in disguise. He explained that Vince McMahon was still in charge when Rhodes returned, and there was no telling how he would book the American Nightmare. Mantel felt Cody had been booked amazingly under the new regime. Look at Cody getting hurt. He got hurt at a time when he needed to be out of sight because Vince McMahon was still in the picture. And no telling what Vince would have done to him. So, I think he got hurt at an opportune time that he needed to be out of the picture. And then when Vince faded, Cody comes back in, and it's all been wine and roses since then, Dutch Mantel said. It would be interesting to see how the Stamford-based promotion will further engage Cody in some exciting storylines. Cody Rhodes is currently in Japan for WWE's live event tour. However, that did not stop him from appearing in a video package on SmackDown. During the vignette aired on the Blue brand this week, Cody spoke about how the Bloodline laid waste to his allies one by one. He then declared that he would take on the might of the heel faction single-handedly at SummerSlam 2024. Cody Rhodes vowed to bring all his fire and intensity to his undisputed WWE Championship match against Solo Sikoa at the biggest party of the summer. He made it clear that there was no way he would let his title fall into the grip of the Bloodline ever again. He also called out the self-proclaimed Tribal Chief, asking him for a confrontation next week on SmackDown. It will be interesting to see if Cody manages to retain his undisputed WWE Championship against Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam 2024. Rhea Ripley teaming up with Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley recently had a rather steamy WWE spot with Dominik Mysterio, which caught the attention of many. According to veteran Bill Apter, this served to elevate the spot rather than hurting it. Things finally came to a head between the Eradicator and Dominik Mysterio last week on Raw, where she dragged him into the ring. This led to Liv Morgan making an appearance, attempting to woo the Judgment Day member. However, Dominic refuted the advances and showed her dedication to Ripley, earning a lick from her. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine hosted by Mac Davis, Bill Apter was asked about his thoughts on the segment. While talking about it, the pro wrestling journalist stated that the licking part made the spot hotter. You know what? It just made it hotter of an angle for that situation. For that segment, it was okay. According to Vince Russo, Rhea Ripley needs to leave the Judgment Day and go on a duo run with the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. Speaking on an episode of Sportskeeda's Writing with Russo, Vince Russo stated that both Ripley and Priest had a unique look, which would work wonders if they weren't part of the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest is money. There is no doubt about it. You put those two together, and all of a sudden, I am a casual fan. I am changing channels, and I see these two. I am stopping. They are legitimate bona fide stars, and that is what they need to do, Russo said. The future of Rhea Ripley's relationship with Dominik Mysterio. Dominik Mysterio has seemingly patched things up with his on-screen girlfriend, Rhea Ripley, on WWE Raw. While many believe their relationship could end soon, a wrestling veteran predicted the couple's future. For the past few months, the Eradicator was absent due to injury. During this, Liv Morgan tried to steal her on-screen boyfriend. However, all her attempts to seduce Dirty Dom seemingly failed, as the latter broke her heart last week on Raw. The former NXT North American champion chose Mommy over the Women's World Champion, telling the latter that he hated her and she ruined his life. Although many expect Dominic to betray his on-screen girlfriend at SummerSlam and side with Morgan despite what happened last Monday, wrestling veteran Dutch Mantel thinks the 27-year-old will remain loyal to Ripley. Speaking on his Story Time with Dutch Mantel podcast, the former WWE manager pointed out that fans will remember who Dominic sides with after Morgan and Ripley's Women's World Championship match at SummerSlam. He claimed Dirty Dom picking Mommy would gain him more heat. Well, Dominic just needs to stay in the same place with Rhea. I think they're fighting the crowd on that. I mean, they can do it that way, Dominic siding with Morgan. They're putting it together. But I think little Liv, she has the heart of the crowd after that interview. So, if he turns on Liv, he is really gonna have some heat. Big time heat. So, if it comes down between Rhea and Liv after the match is over, Regardless of who wins, the real thing the people are going to remember is who he goes with. And I think that Rhea, I think she's a good heel anyway, and Dominik's a pretty good heel, he said. While Liv Morgan is seemingly the heel in her storyline with Rhea Ripley, wrestling veteran Dutch Mantel thinks WWE might have turned the 30-year-old babyface after her segment with Dominik Mysterio and Mommy last week on Raw. He disclosed he felt more sympathetic to the Women's World Champion, who was left in tears after Dirty Dom's rejection. Despite stating that WWE creative should be careful with their booking, he urged the company to continue in that direction, with Morgan being the babyface and Ripley and Mysterio the heels. They gotta watch it because I think they kinda turned her Liv Morgan right then. And I hope they kinda go with this direction a little more because while it was designed to go the other way, I think now, I don't know if they designed it this way, but I think Liv is crossing that threshold of being a babyface, and Dom and Rhea are crossing that line going back the other way, he said. While Mantel felt for Morgan, former WWE employee Tommy Carlucci did not sympathize with the Women's World Champion. Instead, he felt her tears were insincere. It would be interesting to see how this love triangle storyline will end.